Word of the day. Today's word of the day is shutter speed. This is for my photographers and my photographers only, because for video, it's actually quite different. It's called shutter angle. And I'll go over that one on another word of the day. So shutter speed is part of the bigger thing called the exposure triangle. We'll go over that later. It's really, not only does it control how much light goes into your image, sharpness, but also the motion, which is the big point that I'm gonna be kind of sticking to. So the higher the number, the more still the image is. The lower the number, the more motion you'll see in your image. I'll give you some numbers to kind of rough around in your head. Probably about 1/100th of a shutter speed, your image is just gonna be like slightly out of, it feels like it's out of focus, but it's just a slight motion, not a super fast action. It feels weird. It's like, well, what's going on? But if you just crank it a little bit, go to like 1/300th of a second, now the image is sharper. Now it's completely still. The image does, like the person, the subject isn't moving. But now you've noticed that your exposure is going down. The meter's a little lower. Shutter speed controls a lot of aspects of your image. It controls the sharpness because of the amount of movement that you yourself are creating when you're taking the picture that we don't account into. And it also does the image overall exposure, because the higher the shutter speed, the less time it has to actually come in, light coming to the sensor. And the third one is your motion. So, and that'll be clearly stated in how sharp the subject looks when they're moving. A clear number that I like to keep in mind, or a clear rule like I keep in mind in my head, is the lower the number, the more motion is going to get introduced into my image. The higher the number, the more freezing is going to be introduced into my image. So this one really has no downsides. Like it doesn't introduce any negative effects. You could go as high or as low as you like. People do long exposures, which is the super low numbers, like up to 5 seconds if they need it, for like the clouds and all that stuff. They do NDs, and then you could go super high, like 8/1000ths of a second for sports photography. And remember, consume less, rate more.